Samsung A56 is finally here. I have mine in the light grey, and in the base we get 8 GB of RAM with 128 GB of storage. And it looks absolutely beautiful. Inside the box we also get a quick manual, your SIM ejector pin, and also your Type-C cable. Unfortunately, we actually do not get a charger. On the bottom we have our Type-C port, speaker, and also our SIM card slot, as well as microphones. If we remove the SIM card slot, you will see you have space for 2 SIM cards, but no memory card, which is completely ridiculous. On this side we have this raised area with the power button and also the volume up and the volume down buttons. On the top we have more microphones, but no headphone jack. Shame on you, Samsung. And the design of this phone is easily my favorite part about it. It looks absolutely amazing. By the way, again, this is at light grey, but in real life it looks pretty much white. And if we compare it to the 2 times more expensive Samsung S25, then on the back it actually looks more premium than the Samsung S25. And it's the same situation on the sides and the rails and also for the camera bump. This A56 actually looks more premium than the Samsung S25. Well, Samsung S25 obviously still is actually really decent, but again, I mean, this phone actually costs 2 times less and actually looks slightly better than the S25. That's absolutely insane. On the front, maybe the S25 looks tiny bit better since it has smaller bezels. By the way, on the back we also get really nice glass back, which is Victus Plus, and overall when it comes to build quality, it's absolutely amazing and really nearly just as good as 2 times more expensive S25. It's that good. And this easily is one of the best looking phones Samsung has ever made. For the display we get absolutely beautiful 6.7-inch Super AMOLED display, and the best part is it's actually 120 Hz with extremely nice brightness as well. And also screen to body ratio also is really decent, and again we also get really decent protection on the screen as well. When it comes to visibility outdoors, it's excellent as well, and even in direct sunlight also the visibility is superb. Also on this phone we get stereo speakers as well, one over here, you probably can't even see it, and again one over here on the bottom. And you probably won't believe me, but actually I prefer the sound quality of this A56 over my S25, which is absolutely insane. When it comes to the performance and speed, I find this phone absolutely amazing. So everything is battery smooth and everything loads pretty much instantly. By the way, on this phone we have the new One UI 7 essentially, and basically, yeah, it looks slightly different. We have actually upgraded design basically in a lot of areas, and basically when you actually browse some websites or stuff like that, everything loads pretty much instantly on this phone. And everything is battery smooth, really. So if you want the best performing phone, really, I mean, this is absolutely great. When it comes to the specs, we get fairly decent CPU in this phone, which is significantly faster than on the previous A55, and also we can get it with 8 gigs of RAM or 12 gigs of RAM depending on where you purchase and your region. Also the storage speed also is actually pretty decent, and if you want to see the Geekbench, here it is. When it comes to battery and charging, A56 also gets a decent upgrade, because now we also get 45 watts of charging speed on this phone, up from 25 watts. When it comes to capacity, it's the same 5000 mAh, and basically I think it might actually be slightly better in the battery life, as it also has slightly more efficient CPU essentially. And generally when it comes to battery life, these Samsung phones usually have the best battery life out of all phones, and they completely destroy something like Pixel phones. Also, when it comes to charging speeds, my S25 only has 25 watts of charging speeds, so this again, budget phone which costs like 2 times less, completely destroys the S25 when it comes to this as well. And also when it comes to gaming, this phone is absolutely great as well. Also, I have been playing the basically game for maybe like 20 minutes, so let's check the temperature. As you can see, maybe maximum like 27 degrees. So again, thermal management also is actually superb on this phone. When it comes to the price, unlike others, I actually purchased this phone myself with my own money, and I purchased it for 390 euros for this 128GB version. If you go on official Samsung website or any of the big stores, essentially then it's almost 500 euros or dollars. So definitely shop around. For this price, I think it's absolutely great. And finally, when it comes to cameras, I would say the cameras are also plenty for maybe like 80 or 90% of the people. So if your main priority is cameras on a phone, I would maybe spend the same money and get maybe use a Pixel 9 or maybe Pixel 8 or Pixel 9a. The main camera sensor is actually decent sized, and also 50 megapixels with optical image stabilization, which is absolutely great. The rest of the cameras, I would say they are okay for this price, but again the main camera really will be the best out of all of them. Also in the video mode we are able to record in 4K 30 frames per second, unfortunately no 4K 60, and also this phone actually has got the Pro Video mode where you can adjust all the settings. When you compare the Pro Video mode versus the S25, however, the Pro Video mode on the S25 however is more advanced, and I'm not sure why they're keeping the rest of the people out of these features. So definitely the Pro Video mode is more advanced on the S25 when it comes to the functions. So when it comes to different modes, however, we have actually decent modes here. So portrait mode, photo, video, Pro Video, and basically some fun stuff as well. So overall, yep, pretty decent. And this is a video recorded using the A56 main camera. Let's check for the exposure and also focusing speed. So actually looks pretty decent. By the way, previously I was recording this video with my Pixel phone, which obviously is complete flagship phone. So again, this is S25 for example, and this is how it would look like if you were making videos like this. Probably for stuff like this, as you can see, it still provides fairly decent results. And this is a video recorded outdoors. Let's check for exposure. Let me try to run a bit. Actually have fairly decent stabilization on this camera. In good light I would say it's actually pretty darn good. Maybe in low light condition it won't be as good as flagship, but still actually looks pretty cool. Also, if you're wondering if you should maybe get the S25 for the cameras alone, then nope, definitely nope, because I was actually highly disappointed in the camera performance of the S25 when I compared to my Pixel 8 or 9 or maybe iPhone as well. So overall for the price, I think the cameras are the worst, basically when it comes to flagships. And also in some areas, even this A56 actually can get better results. Actually have quite a lot of problem basically with exposure on the S25. As you can see, these bells basically are very well exposed, but on this you see basically the white parts are actually being overblown, and this is same situation basically I'm seeing with other stuff as well. So the exposure overall on the S25, it's weird really. So, and often basically even this more cheaper phone actually gets slightly better results actually. So that's actually kind of weird. As you can see again, overall exposure, for example, for the bright parts, really the S25 struggles. For example, also in this image over here, as you can see, for example, the sky here is exposed very well, whereas on the S25 it's completely overblown. And also the lens flare is worse on the S25. And yeah, overall for the price this phone costs, I was highly disappointed in it. And overall, is this phone actually worth it? And should you maybe get one? Well, I think it's absolutely amazing phone. Not only we get really decent performance, so everything feels buttery smooth. And again, for like 90% of tasks, this really is plenty, so you do not need to spend more though. Everything is super smooth on this phone essentially. Also, obviously we have really decent build quality, so everything is all metal on this phone. And also we have really decent glass back, and it totally feels like a flagship phone really. Also obviously the cameras are really decent, also the battery life is decent on this phone, so I think for this price, I think it's total bargain really. By the way, I'm actually really trying to grow this channel. If you could help me out, that would be so much appreciated. Thank you and good luck everyone.